Hello, welcome to Good Vibes Goddess Tarot. So today we're gonna do a general reading. Um, I remember it's a soul reading pretty much. So like get in touch with what your soul is trying to tell you if you can't really understand it. Um, yeah. So we're gonna get started by cleansing the space and the energy. So if you have headphones on, might want to turn them down for a few seconds to protect your eardrums. Okay. And the song that goes with this reading is Change by XX. Right? Um so pretty much the song he talks about like I'm assuming this was his girlfriend or like his person is changing and he doesn't understand like where these changes is coming from. And the changes is very hard on him and for him because this person is changing right in front of his eyes and he doesn't understand like where these changes coming from, what's the problem, and why certain things are happening. And so he was like it's hard on me, like it's breaking his heart a little bit because he isn't able to keep this person or like change in order for the person to stay or the problem to be resolved. I'm not, yeah. So so now I don't know if that's you or your person or how they feel, but if it is you and you trying to become a new and better version of yourself, that's the changes that you're making. And it's hard on this, your person, because to them, while you were not the greatest version of yourself, they was okay with it. They accept it. But they don't have much in common with this new, better version of yourself. And stuff like that. So these two came out together. We have Who Can I Serve Today and What Do I Believe About Money? Do my beliefs match my dreams? Then we have, oh, I'm going to read the back after. Then we have To Whom Am I Comparing Myself Right Now? Well, I always feel like two should be in there. Who am I? Wait, to whom am I comparing myself to right now? You see, the two kind of, it floats. And then we have How Can I Surrender Even More in This Moment? Or it could be like you the one going through changes, right? Or spirit is like changing things and you just like, I don't understand what's happening. Why things changing? And it's breaking your heart that things is changing, but it's showing you like there's certain things that you have to surrender and let go in order to have that dream because it's not matching your dream. Also, with this, who you comparing yourself, don't compare yourself to nobody else because you don't know what that person had to do to get it or what they would do to keep it. Um, oh, I was watching the Jamie Foxx show. Well, rewatching pretty much. You remember that episode where Fancy's ex-boyfriend or like friend from like mad long ago came back and stuff like that, and he was counterfeiting, and he pretty much was trying to play Fancy, but then Jamie figured it out and stuff like that. So where Jamie was kind of sort of like he didn't really compare himself because he just like he doesn't got like he might have money, okay, but like other than that, what he got? I mean, he was kind of sort of good looking, but like it doesn't matter to Jamie. What he's saying, like I got better looks than him, okay, and so then all that was pretty much dividing them or like was the difference was the money, but then come to find out he was counterfeiting. So it's like he doesn't really have money either. So it's just like they in the same boat. It's just one's doing crime and the other one isn't doing crime. So Jamie is a better option because he's not doing crime compared to this person who's lying, doing crime, and trying to use and manipulate people. And so it's like that. That's why I was like, you need to surrender so you can see things in a bigger and better perspective. So the reason why I brought that up because you just show like how Jamie versus I forgot his name. Remember they kept calling him Can, or counterfeit Can, something like that. And yeah, so like with Fancy, that would like in that situation, she was more so worried about like, but this who can I serve today? Like where before when they was together, something went wrong. She probably wanted to focus on her career. He wanted to focus on something else, right? They weren't on the same page, and now where she's in a certain point of her life where she doesn't need to give that much attention to her career or what she's trying to do, so she can like open her life up to other people. You also have to always think about, does it match with where you're trying to do or what you're trying to go. Like if you're trying to be a lawyer, are you gonna hang out with criminals? No, probably not. Okay, probably not. Probably not. You know, because at that point in time, you can't say you don't know. Okay, like you didn't know it was gonna happen. You did. I couldn't use the cops because that's a whole different thing. Okay. When they be going undercover, that's a whole different thing. So technically that makes sense for them, but like for a lawyer, it's just like, ooh, it doesn't make sense. So it's like you wouldn't. And then you can also like lose. I'm pretty sure if you get like arrested or stuff like that, you can lose. I'm not sure if it's a license, but I know you can lose. You can no longer be a lawyer and stuff like that. You can lose all of it. So it's like that. Like you doing things that make sense to where you're trying to go. Like if you're trying to become a lawyer and stuff like that, or even when you are a lawyer, you're not gonna go and do certain things in certain places because you know like there's consequences and all the money or the time and the effort that you put into something could just simply go away in a poof in an eye. Okay. So that's why I'm saying like don't compare yourself with other people because it's like they doing what probably makes sense to them, and to you it's just like that makes no sense. If they want to live in Delulu, okay, you leave them in Delulu. You don't want to be in delusion, you over here in reality, because sometimes people just, you gotta let them live in the reality that they want to be in. Okay. And also the intentions behind it might can be completely different. So if you're doing something for money, it might not work out the best way because you're just doing it for money. Whereas if your intention is to like help yourself and help other people, that's more better and pure intention. Um, then it might actually lead you somewhere and take you far. So the questions that goes with these soul questions or soul truth is, what is something or someone that drains my energy right now? Do I have people who I need to spend less time with? That keeps coming out. And then we have, what skills or qualities do I currently possess to achieve my dreams? How can I strengthen or add to these capabilities? People might not see the fallback game or just fallback skills as a quality, but it's a good quality. Not everybody can just like cut somebody off or like just fall back. For certain people, it's very hard to just walk away from somebody. With people that have a strong fallback game, it's like once they said they done, they done. Like they just oh, Once they say they done, they done. They could be around you. Yesterday they could have been around you all day, every day. Did one little thing that threw them off guard or made it seem like they was a problem or they was a nuisance. Especially if you did it in front of other people, it's just like, oh, all right. And stuff like that. Like they start to see things, peep things, and fall back. And then you sitting there trying to figure out like, oh, why they not on me like they used to be? We used to do this, they used to do that, and this, that. Yeah, used to. Why I stopped doing that? You know, and they be like, I don't know, I didn't. They're just like, well, when I was doing it and going out of like just out of kindness of my heart, this happened, that happened, this happened. So I just assumed that you didn't want me to do it anymore, or that it was a problem, or that it was bothering you. So I stopped, and I started focusing on myself and do something else. And then they're gonna be like, "Oh no, it wasn't bothering me," and man. Then it's like, then why did you say it? Why did you try to paint that image? And then they start stumbling because they didn't have no reason why. It's like they try to make it seem like. What popped in my head is like a show. Like when they have a crush on the girl or they secretly dating the girl or stuff like that and they don't want other people to know. When they get around other people, they try to like treat her like she's garbage or stuff like that. And find it funny, but behind closed doors and stuff like that, when it's just them trying to be all lovey-dovey and be like, oh, that's not how I actually feel about you. I do this, I care this, and I have that, and I have that. But then it's just like, then why are you showing your ass for people? Like say that, right? Because there's somebody that wouldn't be embarrassed to be seen with me and stuff like that. But then they try to laugh it off because they don't feel that way, so they feel like nobody else will feel that way or nobody else should feel that way, which is wrong. Just a lie. Oh, it's kind of sort of like Heartstoppers. Yeah, he had a boyfriend, and the boyfriend was embarrassed to be seen with him and stuff like that, so would treat him like shit in front of like everybody else or during the school. Literally during the school, he couldn't say hi to him, couldn't talk to him, no nothing. He would literally look at him and be like, who's you? Right? But when they by themselves, you know, everything in their mama, and it's like, huh? To the point that when he tried to like end it because he spoke to somebody else, was liking somebody else and stuff like that, and that person wasn't embarrassed to be his friend, to be seen with him or to go out with him and stuff like that, he pretty much tried to come in and separate that, stop that, and but yet still trying to like keep it closeted, to keep it secret. And I don't remember what happened, but I remember at some point in time somebody got mad at some. I gotta rewatch the first season. I'm gonna be honest with you, but it's a good show. Then we have, what does your dreams life look like? Describe it in details. What's keeping you from reaching your dream life? And that kind of sort of ties to over here with the money. Does it match your dreams? Does it match your goals? Then if you're not doing it for money, even better. Because we gotta remember, like, the world is going through inflation. Like, there's not a lot of money out there, okay, to keep you survive and be on a very calm and steady pace where you might have to work 2 jobs, maybe even 3 jobs. Work 1 job and have other little part-time job or a side gig and stuff like that. It's all just what you want to do and if it fits and work for your life. Like, I can only speak with vet tech. I don't know. Cause one told me about it. So he's just like, even though he has like a full-time job like as a vet tech, like there's gonna be, you don't see just one vet tech with just that job. They're gonna have other things to do. So with him, he goes to this school or he works at that school or teach at that school and then doing something at this school and stuff like that while still having a job. It's like you can still have like other little things going on while still having your main thing going on. And is like the money might not equal all the time and the effort that you put into it, but it's like if you're very passionate about it, it really doesn't matter about the money. Um, if that's why with the card that mainly comes up that was like focus on service and stuff like that, it's like don't worry about the money and stuff like that. Or even being like a good Samaritan or donating to charity. You don't donate to expect to get it back. You just give it with the expectation that you're not gonna get it back. So then when you do get it back, it's just like, oh my goodness, like you know. So then we have, what fear do I need to confront this year? How can I take steps towards these fears? So if you're fear of breaking up with people and telling them that I'm done, I'm gonna head out, you can work on just saying no for certain things. You can say it in the mirror. Um, there's probably certain parts of yourself with the changes that you don't want to do anymore, so you can break up with those parts. Be like, I no longer want blah 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 because it's causing pain and blah 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 to me. I don't know. I don't know. Mm. I can't help you breaking up with people. I don't know. It's different for each one. So it's not like a script that you can go about or have. Um, Especially with this people that's draining you, is you have to figure out why they're draining you and how they're draining you and how they're affecting you and stuff like that. I don't know. That's why it turns into blah blah blah. Like you don't want to be around them anymore because and being around them causes you to feel like you know, you just feeling them and you be all right because now it's XX again and he was just like, we gonna be all right. And this is heartbreak. He had a remedy of a broken heart. Yeah, you gonna be all right. Okay, just can walk towards you. It's not that bad breaking up with somebody. They might try to paint you off to be the villain, but you know, if you know the story, they know the story. God knows the story. We know who the real villain is. And if you did have some villain moments, okay, some anti-hero moments, there's nothing to beat yourself over like up about. Like we're humans. There gonna be times where we do things that we don't want to do, um, and we are ashamed of. But also your environment, the people you are around, also affects your mood and how you are and what you do and what you say. So let's say in this relationship, you were like they was the villain. Let's The Joker popped in my head. So let's say they was the villain, right? They was the Joker and stuff like that. And you was just on your little minding your business. um Harley Quinzel or something like that. You were just minding your business, blah 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 blah. And then this person came to you. You saw them. You was like, oh my goodness. So you went from Harley Quinzel to Harley Quinn, out here working side by side with them, doing a whole bunch of other shit. And then once you realize this person don't really give a fuck about you, you just like, I became Harley Quinn for you. Like I gave up my whole career as a psychologist for you. And also just popped in my head, which Krishan and Blue, when she was like, but those are the consequences of your choices and your actions. So it's pretty much that. Because it even, I think in the new Harley Quinn that's on Max, where she like relives it or revisits it in her mind and stuff like that, reevaluate the situation. She sees that the Joker didn't push her in. She literally chose to jump into the acid, where the Joker didn't really have a choice. He was dropped. Okay, like so she had a choice. And even in a Suicide Squad, like he didn't push her. Like so she had a choice. So it's that. That's why it's kind of sort of both. And I guess where the reason why Krishan and Blueface popped up, where Blueface were trying to make it seem like Krishan was on him and she's the one doing things and stuff like that. He more so wanted it to be business and blase blase. It's kind of sort of like things to show like either it was mutual or somebody is lying. You know, that kind of thing. And it's saying like those are the people that you need to let go and you need to surrender, because you actually do have the strength to break up with these people and walk away from these people. It's not that hard. Because some of them, they know what they did and they know what they're doing to you to cause you to walk away and want to walk away. Um, yeah. So, next we have, what can I look forward to today? How can I stay positive when facing difficult situations? Then we have, who's stopping you? What's stopping you? What's holding you back? This ties to a whole other question, doesn't it? It does. I can't remember where it is. But you know which question it ties to. I can't figure it out right now. And then we have confusion. See, I can't, like, oh, they time it comes together. But see, I can't figure it out. And it's kind of, it was weird because I just read the card. So it could be like this over here because it says something or someone that is draining you and stuff like that. So the person might, because it came out together. Hold on. So this person. So altogether we have confusion, passion, and impatience and enlightenment. Alright, so I'm gonna show you one by one. You can see the picture. So confusion is the crown chakra, right? Which is why I did the soul reading, because I'm like, maybe, might not be fully understanding what they're trying to tell you or what they're trying to say. Um, oh, and then your crown chakra shows that we are connected to other people. So it could be people that, at one point in time you were connected with them, you did see eye to eye with them, you had similarities. Probably outgrown this person, and that's fine. People outgrow each other every day, probably like randomly and stuff like that. And you wake up, like you probably went to sleep yesterday and then you wake up today, y'all on two totally different wavelengths and y'all not like getting back to where y'all used to be. And that might be very confusing, but it's just like one person changing, the other person isn't. Then we have passion with the sacral chakra, which is how you feel about yourself, that then like pass over to others. So where you, why it could be like very hard for you to walk away from certain people is because a lot of people probably walked away from you and caused like fear of abandonment and stuff like that, and you don't want other people to feel abandoned or neglected. So you try to be like that helping hand or be that support beam or that support system and stuff like that, even though they're not supporting you, they're not helping you, they're not pouring into you or giving back to you. Oh yeah, that could be another reason. You're doing it for the wrong reasons. You're doing it with the passion, pretty much doing it to make you feel better. Not that person. Because that person is still the same. That's why we got the impatience. With the blue chakra. That's the throat chakra, not blue. I mean, it talks about like communication, but also how you express yourself. So that's why it could be confusing, because it could be something that you were supposed to do, yes, but there's steps and things that's involved that you didn't do, which is why you might be confused to why things aren't working or going the way they were supposed to go. Because the fool also means like being impulsive, but that impulsiveness then leads to like a foolish decision or like a foolish mistake or stuff like that. So yeah. And then we have enlightenment with the yellows, which is your solar plexus chakra. Um, Pretty much seeing or realizing that you were confused at some point in time and you took action on something that you thought was going to be very passionate or lead to something that brings you some sort of joy and happiness, and out rather than like finding out information, like doing research, you didn't do that, and now you sad and miserable and upset and trying to figure out why and wonder why, like the whole reevaluation thing, like I just said. Then we have rejection. See, yeah, you pretty much did this because you were scared of rejection. With the changes, you are scared to change or don't want to change because you don't want people to reject you or don't want to hear what other people got to say. But people gonna talk regardless, and the people that's talking are the people that's not changing. They don't, they can't do what you do, and they don't have the confidence nor the courage to do what you do. Then we have acceptance with the root chakra, feeling stable, insecure, and grounded in your environment, but also with yourself. Then we have completion. Yeah, then you stop whatever this is over here, the people pleasing or doing foolish or impulsive decisions for other people's sake or something that you actually want to reject it. So saying yes when you actually mean no. Oh, like with me, I used to say, that was middle school though, but when I was trying to be better at saying no, I used to be like, sure, like just drag it out and stuff like that. So it's just like, you know, I don't really want to say yes, but my mouth might be saying yes, but my face is saying no. So it's like when you tie it all together, it's a no. Or even if I do end up doing it, it might be like the last thing I do. When I remember or when I get to it, I get to it. That kind of thing. And then at some point in time, something happened, and I was just like, no. That's when I started using no's, because the sheriffs, okay, people was using it to their own advantage. And it was one person that knew that my shurs means no, and still was just taking it at sure as the face value. Like, no, she said yes, and it's just like, no, no, no. No, no, no. Somebody even said, like, she meant no. And I was like, exactly. And I went upstairs. Like, went about my business. And he still took it as a yes. And it's like, what are we talking about here? Because I know I said no. And I know he said that I said no. So it's just like, I know the answer got to you that it was a no. So it's like, yeah. So it's like that comes to completion where you was trying to do certain things to spare other people feelings at your own expense, or like betraying yourself a little bit. That's coming to an end. You're no longer doing that. Like, you still love and care for people, you wish them the best, but you also gotta wish and want the best for you. And accepting certain people in your life isn't what's best for you. Yeah, see, release. Gotta let it go. And then we've seen that here it's kind of sort of like a graveyard and stuff like that. I don't know if the person just died, but it is like a part of grief and a part of change. Like, person you used to see them every day, now they no longer here every day. Pretty much like I said with my fallback green. It's kind of sort of you mourning a person. Like a breakup is a mourning of a relationship, or you can mourn the relationship if you want to. You can mourn the person if you want to, whatever it is. But rebounding or jumping from one person to the next person is not the best. I can tell you that much. Yeah, service. Also with the crown and the your sacral keep coming up here, your thoughts is controlling how you feel about yourself, and you need to release that, because you might, with the rejection, might be fair that people going to reject you, and the people that's going to reject you is the people that's not meant to be in your life. The people that, there are actually people out there that's going to accept you. There are going to be people that reject you, and there are going to be people that accept you. And then you're so busy focusing on the ones that's going to reject you that you're not seeing the ones that are accepting you, that will actually love you and accept you for who you are. That's why they're saying it's impulsive, which to then lead to foolishness. Because you're changing yourself to please these people, and half of these people don't even like themselves. And then at the end of the day, with this completion, like when you're dead in the grave and stuff like that, the people that's really going to be sad for you are the ones that have accepted you and known, wait, see the potential that you had and who you could have become, and how you missed that chance of that opportunity because of somebody or one person and stuff like that. Or where like you on your deathbed and stuff like that, you more so focus on the relationships or the connections. Well, she's happy in this one, so it's like you focusing on like happy connections and stuff like that, but you don't want to get to your deathbed and realize that you didn't have any like healthy or positive relationships to think back on to make you smile, or to try to keep going and stuff like that. Because in the completion card, she's reunited with, I'm gonna assume like her granddad or something like that, or somebody from her past and stuff like that. So it will pretty much, not saying like death is easy, but it's like where like it's kind of sort of bittersweet. Like, oh, she's dead, but like, okay, like at least we know now she could be with her grandpa. She loves her grandpa, and they all reunited again and stuff like that. And yeah, but the orange and the crown, it's affecting how you feel about yourself, and then it's affecting you accepting helping or accepting to move on and what you're doing and stuff like that. Your thoughts is pretty much controlling you, and it should be the other way around. You control your thoughts. So these came out together with conception. With the frequency of conception invites our consciousness to our original. Wait, hold on. The frequency of conception invites us to bring our consciousness to our original origin. There we go. The place where everything is in creation's beginning. It helps us to remember the infinite potential and possibility of the space and what we manifest through our own forces, awareness, and intentions. And we have transit journey. With the frequency of the transit journey helps us unlock the hidden knowledge and wisdom that we intrinsically hold about how to reach states of wholeness and completion through our central experience and with others, with ourselves and with others. So kind of sort of that confusion. It ties to the confusion, but also the completion. Like this whole thing, these two ties to this and connects this as well. But then also with the others. So we have is two people here. This is not actually a person. And then two people here. Right? But with the connection with others, she's thinking about her as she was younger and somebody else. And two other people here. And over here is like the naysayers and stuff like that. And you releasing the whole naysayers and what this person said, what that person said, and just feeling free. Then we have belief. With the frequency of belief supports our sense of self-worth, which pretty much is the sacral chakra, based on our gifts, talents, and strong connections to source, which is the crown chakra. Your beliefs is controlling you rather than the other way around. If it, like, some might want you to believe that you sin one time, God just does, he hates you. And that's not the case. You are human. You are going to sin. He forgave you. Jesus died for your sin. It's not like he died one time and that was just when you weren't born and he died for the sins of people at that time. No, 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 no. He died for everybody's sins. Every human that will live. He died for their sins. It was already counted for. It's already counted for. Okay? So, that's why, like, the beliefs and stuff like that. Another reason why he said to read the Bible by yourself. Get in touch with it. Because how he might be talking to you and talking to this other person completely different. Let's say, because it's an elderly person in here, but it's two differently elderly people. So let's say you was in the nursing home for like a while now. And these people was coming to you and trying to say that you did something wrong, and you just like, what did I do wrong? Did I still like a jello? Like, what did I do? Did I take somebody else's pudding? Huh? Like that kind of thing. And it's like, no, you technically didn't do anything wrong. They did something, and the message is pretty much is for them, not you. And stuff like that. Or like you can listen to the message and like learn from their mistakes so you don't do the same thing. But sometimes people just be trying to project. And also that's why I'm saying like not to compare yourself. Because with the hangman, that also it talks about like spiritual imprisonment. Or it could just be like in prison and stuff like that. If you're trying to become more spiritual and spiritually enlightened and stuff like that, why are you comparing yourself to somebody that's in spiritual imprisonment? That person is not moving, they're not growing, they're not doing anything. They're stuck. They have to learn why they in timeout. And then they would get out of timeout. You didn't do what they did to be in timeout. You didn't even know what they did, why they did it, none of that. So that's why it's beliefs. So some people believe like they can do whatever they want and not get caught. You know that's not the case. Belief. Some people believe that they all high and mighty and nothing, because it's them doing it, nobody's going to do anything to them. There's no consequences. And then they find out that's not how life works. Consequences for everybody. We have integration. With the frequency of integration supports our embrace of every aspect of ourself, allowing what we perceive as positive and what we perceive as negative to harmonize and balance symphonies of life. Symphony of life. Pretty much like a kind of sort of just said. So with that impulsiveness, like, you know, like, it's like when you're rushing and stuff like that. Well, it kind of sort of depends. Because, like, with some people, when they rush and stuff like that, it's not the best quality of work that they have. Whereas, like, I'm gonna be honest, I'm a procrastinator from time to time, okay? And my reasoning is, well, some people work better under pressure, okay? But then sometimes you gotta, like, acquire, like, for me, you gotta, like, put in the anxiety time. You gotta calculate that as well. Like, I might stress out at some point because I don't got enough time, quote unquote. But then it's my fault because I knew this. And then it's like that, well, that kind of sort of motivates somebody to do more research, to double check and make sure everything is perfect the way that it needs to be perfect. Words are spelled correctly, things spaced out, this is there, that's there. It's all based on your belief. If you feel like you work better under pressure, you will do certain things to get the results. Where, let's say, like, I procrastinated and stuff like that, but I still get an 80 or like an 85, stuff like that, where you spent like 3 weeks working on it and you got a 75, and you just like, how the fuck did you get an 80 and you waited last minute? It's just like, it's just how I work. Is the belief, my belief system. I work better under pressure. Even though you gave yourself plenty of time, did you review it? Did you go over it? So it's like, even though I didn't have the amount of time that you have, I still did what needed to be done in said time period. I still reviewed it. I still did research. Um, Even though I waited last minute to like put it on paper, it wasn't. That doesn't mean that I didn't do research. I didn't know what I wanted to say. I wasn't already thinking about it. It's that. So it's like where you sat down and spent a day on it, and you did all that in one day. Like I spread it out in a certain period of time. I just never put it down on paper, like that kind of thing. That's why I said not to compare yourself. Everybody works is different. So then we have the Six of Cups. Hold on. Then we have the Eight of Cups reverse. So it could be somebody from your past trying to come back, and now they claim that they have a key. Also, okay, with that, some people, no, because the cups are broken. JK, never mind. I was like, some people, probably I didn't like end up on bad terms and stuff like that. It didn't really break your heart or anything like that. But nah, them cups broken, water leaking. Yeah, there's somebody from your past that pretty much broke your heart. The remedy of a broken heart come together. That caused you to change, and like they trying to come back and be like, oh, I have this key to bring you, and it might not even be the right key that you need to open whatever door you're trying to open. Yeah, because we went from 6 to 8, and we still in cups. Somebody played and hurt your emotions. But we didn't even have the heart chakra out here. We have almost every other chakra but the heart. Yeah, your heart chakra blocked or closed. It could be something this person did. Yeah, High Priestess reverse. They don't have no secrets. Oh, the secrets is out. They're not hiding. Well, even if they try to hide their hand, you see through it. See, I was just talking about it. The Hangman reverse. Told you, spiritual imprisonment. Five of Wands. So they try to cause like a little friendly competition. Or try to do little friendly insults. But at some point in time, it's... Hold on. And then we got the Four of Cups. Speaking of rejection, because that's... Four of Cups can also mean rejection. But, so just based off of this, right? This person that's coming back to you is a High Priestess reverse. They don't have no psychic... Even if they did have a psychic ability when you knew them back then, they don't have that now. Or yours surpassed them to every time they try to use it or try to manipulate, you see through it. Because they're in spiritual imprisonment for the things that they have done. They have to think about it and spend some time with it. Where the High Priestess normally works with the Hierophant is the one that put people in the Hangman. And then we don't have the Death card. But it talks about the change. We have completion. So that's saying this whole thing with this person, that's what's coming to an end, which is why you end up with the Four of Cups being the last card with the rejection. This person wants you to make an impulsive and foolish decision because you, with the passion and stuff like that, with the wands and stuff like that, they just assume with the wands, like, Even though they might be like some conflict or animosity, or a little bit of battles and stuff like that, you will still accept them and give to them. But what actually ends up happening, they have to accept the fact that you reject them and you want to move on with your life. Because with the release, you're trying to figure out what you're releasing. You're releasing the animosity and the quote unquote friendly competition. Because it's not actually a friendly competition. Or this person put you in competition where before you didn't know, now you know. Which is why you're rejecting this person. Because with the Six of Cups talks about a past. But you... when you thought back... It's like with Harley Quinn and stuff like that. When she was trying to blame the Joker. And was like, oh, the Joker pushed me in and blase, blase, blase. And that's not that. It's like you seeing it through rose-colored glasses. And then once you like remove yourself and try to see it from like a neutral standpoint, I know that like is the Six of Cups is upright, it's supposed to be like happy and stuff like that, nostalgia, but it could just be simply you're thinking back on the past, on like better days and like when things was all fine and dandy. Um, but then with the Eight of Swords is like this person from your past that pretty much broke your heart and left you and or abandoned you. That's what you're like seeing in this happy light period and stuff like that, which is very confusing because it's sunny here, rainy here. Okay, very heavy rain, and dark skies like pretty much everywhere else except here. So it's like these two, you see where you thought it was a friend, like I'm saying, like you thought it was a friendly competition and it wasn't. It wasn't. You misread the situation. It was lies, deception, cheat, mysteries. And then we have the Six of Wands. Then we have, okay, but this one is Sad by XXX. So I am such a being in love. So it could like you could have gave this person everything, but there's two people here, but they wanted to be in charge and wanted you to be their lackey pretty much. Um, and they thought like they were going to get victory in it. Like I said, this person felt like they could just come back even though they're a past person. And the Six of Wands talk about like victory after a very long battle because it's after the Five of Swords. Told you this was a competition that you didn't really know that you was in. Then we have the Wheel of Fortune. Oh, rather than if you don't want to think about or know like how your energy is being drained, because he just said, "I'm sad, I know you." Think about that. Who are some people that you said you know though? Okay, you would wish you would have been like, I would have been better without you. Like those kind of people. Those are the people. Need them. There's a chance to have this change and this shift. That happened with the Wheel of Fortune and stuff like that, but that will lead you to victory. But it's like you have to walk away from this. Stop fighting from this. You might like there's battles and wars and stuff like that. So like even if I'm gonna use civil war. So even if like the South lost like a couple of the even if the South won some of the battles, the North won the whole war pretty much. So it's that. So like you might lose some battles, have to walk away from some battles to still win the war. See, Five of Swords. You might see it as cowardly running away, but you're not actually running away. You de-escalated the situation. Because it went from 6 to 5. You de-escalating the situation. Because went from 6 to 8, which was increased the situation. And then we have 2, 12, still increased. And then we went from 12 to 5, which is decreased. But it's kind of sort of explaining why this is here. Because there was a secret competition, secret animosity that was going on, secret battle that you thought was friendly. Because this is 12 and 12 reduced to 3, and then 2 and 3 equals 5. See? Explains why this is here. Even this. They wanted to be the one on their high horse. With the armor on their head and stuff like that. They wanted to be the one to be on top. And even, but with the story with the 5 of Swords, this person pretty much waited till the war was, or the battle was over, and then came and took the swords. Oh, you ever watched Once Upon a Time? Rumpelstiltskin, pretty much. Where he, like, they was on the field and stuff like that, and he, like, ran away and stuff like that, and then was hiding out, and blase. It's like that. Like, this person pretty much was a coward. But then trying to paint you off to be a coward when you weren't the coward. You was just strategic. If you walked away, you walked away to win the war. Like, this, it wasn't worth fighting with this person. It just popped in my head was Escanor from Seven Deadly Sins, when Seven Deadly Sins, so it was like the commandments, where one of them was struck down by his own commandment, so he pretty much lost his power, so he couldn't fight. And Escanor was like, I hope you don't feel offended at the fight, like at the fact that I don't want to fight you, but it makes no sense to fight you if you can't fight back. It's that, like, you don't see no point in fighting with this person. It doesn't make any sense. What just popped in my head is like, you're a heavyweight champion, and they are a lightweight champion. It's like there's 2 totally different weight categories, my guy. Like, you're not supposed to be fighting each other. But like, they, in their mind, even though they're the light heavyweight and stuff like that, they still feel like, oh, no, you don't want to fight me because you're scared, and this, and the third. And while you're just like, no, I don't want to fight you because I know I might knock your head off your head. Like, that kind of thing. So yeah. It's like this person is not seeing clearly. They don't have the psychic understanding and abilities or anything like that because they're in spiritual imprisonment. And they refuse to see things in a new perspective, which is why it's saying, like, you need to walk away from this person. It's kind of sort of similar to a pick a card I did. But yeah. So, these 2 came out together, but it was kind of sort of slanted, so I separated them. So it was the 7 of Pentacles, reversed, and Justice upright. I'm going to put them slanted, like they came out. So, you reap your rewards, or you harvest what you reap what you sow. You harvest what pretty much grown and stuff like that. And you weren't really happy with it, but Spirit saying, like, it's fair, it's just, it's balanced. It's like, imagine you saying, right, I want to get an A on the test, and you praying to Spirit, please give me an A on the test. Give me an A on the test. Blase, blase, blase. Right? You didn't spend no time reviewing. You ain't study. You ain't pick up the book. You ain't go to class. You ain't do this. You ain't do that. So you got like a D. Spirit feel like that's fair. They did the best they could. You could have got an A. They would have helped you got an A if you had like studied, opened a book, went to class. You know, those kind of things. Like, they would have helped you. With the white and the dark horse, start cat being here. And then the white cat always is side-eyeing the black cat. But that's why I was saying with the reason why you was doing this, if you look here, you see like black over here and white over here, but also with the tails is kind of sort of crossed. And then with this sword, if it drops, it's like part of the white cat is over with the black cat, and part of the black cat is over with the white cat. So it's like this is why you saw eye to eye to this person, or why you connected with this person, but over time you were not happy with the connection or the resources or the services that you was getting. So where in the beginning it was fair and it was balanced, it was just, now it's not. Okay? Four of Wands. And a connection and or a relationship that you have, or a partnership. And it's something from the past, or about your past. Six of Cups. Oh, if you keep going back to your past, your spirit just assuming that's what you want. And so they just gonna give it to you. And they feel like that's fair and that's balanced. So you probably like, no, that's not what I wanted. I wanted blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, that's why I'm saying, like, are your actions matching that? No. Then you're going to continue getting the old things that you used to get. So this person comes back. And if it's not this person, it's somebody similar to that person. Because this is what you're telling spirit that you wanted. Which is how the victory with the the Six of Wands end up becoming self-fulfilling prophecy, or self-fulfilling victory. I'm gonna show you in the. Oh, funny enough, just because I was looking for the Six of Wands to show like the differences, so I'm just gonna pretty much. So it's Page of Swords reverse. So just spying, unhappy, not telling the truth. Empress reverse. Insecure and ashamed with the Hermit, right? Manipulating the truth, lying, right? Things you're trying to balance out, come into harmony, to release it. But you gotta gain like a good perspective and realize that like not everything is gonna be all peachy keen and rainbows and sunshine. Like this Two of Cups, this relationship, you saw eye to eye with them, no longer see eye to eye. And the reason why you didn't see eye to eye was because the person was manipulating and was lying the whole time. And now they're ashamed of it. Which is why you're not happy with the harvest. You confused on what harvest this is, or well, how it got here. Now you seeing the truth in it. That, oh, I'm talking about the sword. You see? Now you're seeing the truth. That y'all need to separate. And the reason why you either started this connection, like I said before, is because you saw, like at some point in time, you saw yourself in them, but or saw like part of yourself in them. But with the Magician being an upright, you were the one that can transform this whole thing around by freeing yourself from this arrogant, manipulative person that only do things for their own happiness and their own benefit, which is very toxic and manipulative. With the Devil, also with the Pentacle on the head, this person is obsessive. Can be obsessive and possessive and controlling. Yeah, possessive and controlling and very materialistic. Which is why if y'all trying to make the attention to move on and move forward with the relationship and or connection, is not going to lead anywhere or go anywhere. It's always falling apart. With the Five of Swords, pretty much gonna, you are waiting for them and think there's gonna be some type of victory and stuff like that, and that person end up leaving you, abandoning you, or they abandoned you at some point in time, which is why the Eight of Cups is broken. Oh, now we have death, and there's a death in the upright. This change is happening. A new day is dawning on this person's lies and deception. Because normally in the moon, in the face of the moon is the Hermit. Hold on. And the Hermit is reversed, and the moon is also reversed because the Hermit was lying. Didn't actually have any wisdom or any knowledge. It's a bunch of lies. And then also you can see like the little tower back here, and then the wolf is supposed to indicate like your wild intent, or like being in the wild and being in the wilderness, your natural state and stuff like that. Then the selfish is supposed to represent like your psychic abilities and stuff like that. But all we have is a claw. So this person, very snippy, they don't have one. So they try to lie and try to make it seem like, or bring somebody else down and make it seem like, oh, that person's weird because spirit is talking to them, but then they low key is wishing and hoping and praying that they can do the exact same thing that the other person is doing, but they can't because they're materialistic or superficial. Or they care about is money. Like, oh, if I had this gift, or oh, I can do that, I can get this money, I can get that money. People spend money on wanting my services and wanting to know what's right. Who cares if the message isn't accurate? I can just tell them what they want to hear, not what they need to hear. Ace of Wands. That's the passion. And they're not worried about it. They thought this was a very great and wonderful idea. So clearly no nightmares, no nothing. Who you probably wondering? The King of Cups. Of course. Started putting action with the Eight of Wands to give to it. Move towards it. Move towards who? Could be you, the Queen of Cups. Or because they try to make it seem like they're very loving and nurturing. But that's a lie. With the Queen of Wands being in reverse, it was all lie, manipulations. So if they try to come to you and offer you that cup or stuff like that, with the King of Swords, you see right through the illusion and the fake shit. How do we still haven't got to the Six of Wands? We have the Nine of Pentacles reversed. So, you see, like, where one person is happy and the other person isn't happy, and pretty much is still side-eyeing with the cat. Like, you end up separating and breaking away because this person mainly just was worried about materialistic things or superficial things. And you have bigger and better dreams, and now you're realizing, like, all the glitz and the glamour doesn't mean, like, it's actually, like, something solid and stable. But so, like, you want to separate from this person, break up with this person, even if you don't have, like, the money that you used to have and stuff like that, or you have to, like, cut your lifestyle in half. You feel like that's more still a solid and stable option than being with this person. So you're freeing yourself from that mental mind trap. Told you, your mind. Yeah. Taking control over yourself and your mind. Taking back control over this person that's trying to control it, and going back and forth, juggling, oh, what this person want, what do I want? You just going with what you want, because it's only one pentacle that he has, right? Even though it's talking about the Two of Pentacles, you're able to juggle this one solid stable offer, not being in your head, anything like that, and being flexible and in a way that benefits you, when you realize that you can still have celebration, all, like, even though like the Five of Cups, the Three Cups was down, you turned around, you saw the Two Cups up there, you was like, yep, not gonna cry over this spilled milk, oh well, and you walked out, went about your business. And this person was greedy and insecure and felt inadequate next to you, or you felt inadequate next to this person and try to penny pinch and hold onto certain things. I'm saying the other person because they was the materialistic one. You didn't really give me materialistic. You gave, like, people pleasing and want to care for people, or people taking your kindness for a weakness or stuff like that. And this person is not going to tell you that they still holding on to it out of greed and trying to paint you to be the one that had all the insecurities when it's actually them. When you're meanwhile you're sitting here working on your money, your goals, your aspiration. With the Hierophant, it's healing it. Finally, it's healing it. The Hierophant is healing it. So like I said before, but the High Priestess works closely with the Hierophant. The Hierophant is upright. The High Priestess is in reverse. So this Hierophant is not working with the High Priestess. It's healing what this High Priestess done, which is why he put them in the Hangman. Right? Because they thought, oh, I'm working with the Hierophant. I'm a High Priestess. I can do whatever I want to do. The fortune will always be in my favor. I could always be on top of the wheel. her friend said, like, bitch, please. And turned that shit around real fast. So now they get the shit out of the stick, and whoever they wronged get what they were supposed to get. Because it was a false and self-fulfilling prophecy, and it was very self-sided and short-sighted, that leads to destruction. Like in the moon, all ties together. I was looking for the one card. Like the one card went damn near the whole deck. But yeah, but we also saw like how all the other like cards were also kind of sort of like in the reverse, and ties together to the story pretty much. What's going on here? What I just said. Hold on, let's see. Justice is in the upright, so even though you're not happy with this service, or the not the service, happy with the what you got and stuff like that, things are balancing out where you can be happy, but you have to put in the work and walk away from certain people. Separate. Okay, so next we have the Wheel of Fortune with Metatron, the recording angel with advancements and placement. Oh, not placement. Progress teaches guidance and records events in the book of life. Oh yeah, this turning point. You walking away from certain people, setting certain boundaries. It's a turning point in your life for the better. And then we have strength with the rising God, loyalty, deliverance from those who seek to oppress you and bring victory. See what I said? What did I say? Told you. Controlling and accepted. Controlling, obsessive, and possessive. And with the hangman, not the hangman, the hermit being reversed and the ace of swords upright, you seeing it clearly, other people seeing it clearly, it's sort of like a breakthrough, and they're ashamed that people see them for who they are. Oh. Then we have a love verse, but kind of sort of crossing this with joy and pleasure and bring happiness to couples, removing negative energy. Oh, and then we have deliverance from those who seek to oppress you. Yeah. A karmic. You was in a prideful relationship with the Nine of Cups reversed. This person was prideful and arrogant and ignorant and didn't care about your happiness. They only cared about their happiness. And they didn't even know what makes them happy, but they blame you for that. It's somehow your fault because you're supposed to make them happy, and even if they don't know. It's like with a baby. You know, like babies, it's real easy to make a baby happy. It's either they want a bottle, either they got gas somewhere that they need to get out, you know, they need to change, they feel sticky and might want to get a little washed down. Like, it's very easy to figure out what a baby wants. It's not that many things, okay? With this person, you can't figure it out for the life of you. And they can't figure it out them damn self. And it's them. So you have to become some type of mind reader to figure out what the fuck they want. And then if you give them what the fuck they want, they'll be like, I don't want this. I want it in this way. And they're just like, no, you didn't. Because you didn't even know how to do it that way or what that way is. Then you do it that way, they don't even want it. They want the attention and people that cater to them hand and foot. That's why they're trying to make it seem like they're the emperor upright, but in all actuality, they're not. They're not balanced at all. How I can tell you they're not balanced? The emperor drives the chariot. The chariot is in reverse. They are not balanced. They're not moving forward. They haven't even learned the pages. They are a child. A man child. A woman child. I don't know. A child. Then we have the Knight of Wands with God, the good in himself with protection, prevents discovery of secret crimes, and save the exiled. Oh, that's why I said this person could have abandoned you with the Five of Wands, the Five of Swords, exiled you or left you or kicked you out and stuff like that. I didn't see the Five of Pentacles to see if he was out in the cold or not, but Yeah, this person's not moving forward. So they trying to come to you because you're the one that's actually moving forward. They can't move forward. They're the one in spiritual imprisonment, but you're not. And then we have the Five of Cups, God, the King and Ruler, with prosperity, destruction of enemy and deliverance from bondage, which is the Tower, which is why it definitely was destroyed. It definitely was destroyed. Destroyed. It was even destroyed in the moon. So pretty much a little bit of foresight because of their lies and deception. It was never your fault. But they exiled you as if it was your fault. Oh, who's that? It was a goddess. I think her name is Rihanna or something like that. I don't know. But she was in a relationship and a marriage, right? With her husband, the king. And they had a child. And the mother, the king's mother, so her mother-in-law, pretty much didn't like them. Didn't like the fact that they was together. Because the king didn't pay as much attention to the mother. And so she pretty much either kidnapped the kid or killed the kid. This is a story, but shows kind of mixing up. So some of y'all, they took the kid. Okay, some took the kid. Because I know it's like in a show, somebody left a window open to pretty much let the cold air onto the kid to then kill the kid. I'm pretty sure that's in a show. In the story, she could have just took the kid and put the kid away somewhere, and then lied and said it was, I'm gonna say her name was Rihanna, it might not be Rihanna, and said it was her. She was sleepwalking and she hurt the kid. I'm pretty sure she killed the kid. Hurt the kid or something like that. Or even if she did kidnap the kid or kidnap her grandchild, she made it seem like Rihanna killed him. And then the king was in an uproar, outrageous, because that's his heir. The heir to the throne and stuff like that. It's like, you can't do that. You cannot do that. Okay? So he loved her so much that he didn't offer her head and just killed her. But he was just like, I can't see you. I don't want to see you. So he exiled her. So if anybody that was coming to the castle had to literally be on her back and use her as a horse and stuff like that. So over time, she kept saying I know I didn't do it. I didn't kill my kid. There's no way I killed my kid and stuff like that. So she started investigating. Come to find out, it was the mother that did it. I forget if she found the kid, but then the king exiled the mother. But not even exiled, banished the mother. Okay, banished. Where she was still able to come onto grounds, might be able to see the gate a little bit, see the people. The mother can't see nobody. Get out, kind of thing. And it's all of that is coming to light and being illuminated and showing who's really the fake person. That's what the Four of Pentacles is talking about. Who was really the greedy person and why they did certain things. Yeah. So then we have the Angel of Relationships. If I find the card, I'll show you her actual name. And then we have the Angel of Friendships. Yeah. So when horrible relationships or bad relationships, there is somebody around that can actually help. Nope, never mind. I'm not seeing the card today. That's a whole different. I gotta go over here to go get that. So even this relationship is not the best because you were a prideful lover and stuff like that. Spirit's trying to help you free you from that. So you can actually, won't say to jump right back into another relationship and stuff like that. You spend some time with yourself, heal and stuff like that, and rather than dating, you might just start off with just being friends and stuff like that. And or I keep saying ish with the Four of Wands. I keep saying it could be relationship or it could be friendships. It could be just connections in general. Because relationships is very, you and your coworker, that's a relationship. That's a connection. You probably don't see it as one, but it is one. So it's angels is working with all of it. relationships, all of it. Everyone that comes in contact with you or try to attach to you is technically a relationship. Your friendships is a relationship. Your family, relationship, and stuff like that. Teacher is a teacher and student relationship. You see, like it's always. So we have. Show you these again, so I just read the back and call it a day. Then we have in a world lacking soul-to-soul connection. See what I said? Small and simple acts are what creates big and longing impact. Not longing, lasting impact. We shift our pain and experience an avalanche of love when we lose ourselves in the service of others who need you today. Today's those action. Listen to your heart. Who needs you? Make one soulful connection today and give solely to spreading more love, expecting nothing in return. Notice the joy you feel when you serve others. Yeah, that's pretty much what I said before with the like giving to charity. You just gotta expect that you're not gonna get it back. You get it back in like a different way. However way spirit decides to give it back to you. I don't know. Could be money, could be a house. It could be a person. Whatever they want to give to you, they give it to you. Okay? But you not so you have to do something, but it's more so that's what it is. Like, even if with the service you just focus on helping others, you're not worried about the money and stuff like that. Which is why they just give it back to you without problems. So and then it becomes like a surprise because you didn't expect anything back. You're just like, what did I do to deserve this? Thank you, Jesus. And he's just like, I saw you. You know, when you was helping that person get up, or when you helped this person out the car, when you did this and you did that, you hold the door for this person. You weren't doing it for gratification or anything like that. Then we have, how does my relationships with money affect my current situation? Do you believe that you are worthy? Do you believe that you are capable? Do you trust money? Does money trust you? Money is an energy. It ebbs and it flows. You are worthy of it, and it's your responsibility to heal your relationship with money as part of your waking up to the whole of you and your purpose. Today's soul's action. Take a deep dive into your belief system around money. Are there any beliefs that you need to update and create the results you want? Hold on. I just forgot. Well, okay. Are there any? I looked somewhere else and I forgot where I was. Are there any beliefs that you need to update to create the results you are wanting most in your life? Write down your money story. It is time for a sacred shift. Sacred shift. What will your next chapter be? Fill in the blank. I am grateful to money because blank. Funny enough, I keep saying the blank with the meh. Like, it's just. And then they also talk about the changes and the shifts and stuff like that with the hangman. Like, the change and the shift is happening if you participate. You have to do stuff. You have to put in the work with the 8 of Pentacles. And then you have enough time, like, where you're not rushing and stuff like that. It's going at your own space, your own space, your own pace at your own time and stuff like that. Spirit knows how you learn and the best way for you to learn and stuff like that. Like with, I don't know if you like read the Bible or whatever book you read. But you know, like certain prophets and stuff like that, their gift actually like ties to their characters and stuff like that. Like with Goliath. Not Goliath. Wrong person. David. David killed Goliath even though he was short. Okay, and Goliath was a giant. You know, still killed him. And then he gave us a whole bunch of psalms and songs and dances. Well, we don't know the dances he was doing while he was praising the Lord. But like showing the like You can dance and praise the Lord at the same time. Like, worship. Go ahead. Like, there's different ways of doing it. And where somebody else is more so speaking and stuff like that, public speaking. And oh, like with Moses, right? Moses had a stutter. So God was talking to Moses, and Moses had to pretty much tell his brother Aaron, like, look, this is what God said to do. Tell him. Like, tell him. And, so each person had their role, and it worked best for them. So where Moses, he probably couldn't speak to them, but he led them, right? To a certain point. And where Aaron, he was able to speak to them, so he spoke to them. To a certain point. Because so they fell short and they wasn't able to get into the kingdom. But it wasn't. But they still served their purpose, is what God's trying to say. Because even with David, he killed Goliath, then he kind of sort of killed his best friend. You see, like they still, it ties to what they needed to do or what they did. And then sometimes they didn't listen. And God was like, I'm going to handle you accordingly. And stuff like that. But it's still, everything is money. What? Everything is money. Everything is energy. And their relationships, you might not see it forming, but there's a relationship. You have a relationship with money. You have a relationship with your health. You have a relationship with, I guess, clothes, fashion. And everybody's relationships is different and looks differently. Same thing with God. David's relationship with God was way different than, let's say, Cain's. That Cain killed Abel? Yeah, completely different. Abel's relationship was different, which is why Cain killed him. You feel me? Like, it's just... just don't compare yourself to anybody. Everybody got their own thing going on. Their own relationship, own connection. So, show you the questions again, so I can just read the back. So on here, it says, I have the power to achieve my dreams. Right? So it kind of all flows together. Then here it says, the more I create, my creative energy knows no limits. Then we have this one. Then the back says, what are you able to see in others is only visible because it is within you, ready to bring it out. Shine a light on this feeling of not enough and see the truth. All that you need and want is within you. Today shows action. Today stop comparing yourself and start creating. Oh yeah, so that was something about with the cats. Which is why with the Two of Cups, you thought you saw eye to eye in them. You created a relationship or connection with this person because you saw parts of you. It was like, even though this person is like 90, like, you ever watch Lilo and Stitch? Okay, cool. So like, even when Stitch were bad, okay, he was spazzing out a little bit. Lilo still was able to, like, there's some good in there. There's some good in there. We just got to bring it out. And then they pretty much did that with all of his cousins and stuff like that. Even though they was programmed to be evil, they was still good in them and stuff like that. And so where you might be the white cat and stuff like that, you have a little bit of anger in you and stuff like that, or you got some sass in you. And this other person have some sass, okay? I have sass, the same amount of sass that you got. Which is why you thought that y'all be cool and stuff like that, but no. Right? And then we have this and this one, where the answer is always no if you don't ask. And here it says, I am creating the life of my dreams. Pretty much just right. You're creating the life of your dreams, and the answer will always be no if you don't ask. So if you don't put in the work in and stuff like that, it's gonna be no, and that's gonna be fair because you didn't do anything. That's why you didn't do anything. They're just gonna continue giving things from your past because they're just gonna assume that's what you want. That's the whole healing part. and releasing part. You letting it go. It's like with the completion then the releation. Well, releation, that's not a word. Completion then release is like when you were in middle school or elementary school, you probably wore like a size 4 shoe or stuff like that. Now you wear like a size 9, maybe even 10. Why would you still have the size 4 in your house? Who are you giving them to? Who's wearing them? Like, it's a clothes. Like, you can give it away and release them to make space for something else. That's what you need to do. That's why they saying to release it and let it go. It came to an end. It comes to a close. The shoes did the best that it could. When you had it, even if it was your favorite shoe, it was wonderful. It was great. But you can't put your foot in them shoes. You can't. So could be another thing. Saying like there's certain things you gotta let go and throw away. You have it is essential to have clear and strong intention of what you desire, but it is equally important for us to detach from the outcome. It is time to surrender. Let the universe have some breathing room to work. Let go of the wheel and trust so deeply that your truth turns into gratitude. That your trust turn into gratitude. Excuse me. For what you cannot see yet but know is coming. Today's soul action. Know this so deeply that your soul radiates it. You are not alone. Your life has purpose, and the more you surrender, the more God can provide miracles in your life. Today's soul's mantra is I surrender and accept all that I can't change. I release the outcomes and I joyfully trust the process. And then, okay, right, see it. Then we have, I focus on the positives for a better me. Yeah, didn't I say trying to become a better version of yourself? See how it all comes together? Real nice. And then we have, I create my own path. Oh, with this Hierophant, not the Hierophant, the hang. Oh yeah, some of it. Not confused, but I remember at some point in time there was a Hierophant reverse. So it was somebody like of authority that was abusing their power, abusing their authority, and they could have actually been a high priestess reverse. Either way, how you can tell with tarot, it's kind of sort of like a story, like a storybook. Certain parts connect, or even though this is one video, you see how like certain things still connects and flows. That's why like it ends and it flows and stuff like that. Even though up here, even though it's over here, some ties to over here, and then even some over here ties to some down here, and something like that. Like it all flows. If it doesn't flow and it doesn't connect, you could try to figure that out if you want to figure it out. If I watch a video and I get confused, it ain't for me. I don't know who you're talking to, but you're not talking to me. This is how I feel. Because you're not about to confuse me on my cellular device. But that could be another way, like, to indicate, like, that's not really a message from spirit. Or, like, none of the videos connect or flows together. Where I might do one video and be like, oh yeah, I did a video about this, like, blah, 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 blah. And like, that could have been months ago, but it still ties to right now, because you'd be like, oh, it's coming back up. Or you're reevaluating it, or it's like, this is the reason why, because you didn't fully heal that or fix that thing. But another thing is, if I'm saying you and you know that you didn't do it, but the other person did, it could be that, and they trying to project it. That's what like some people's projecting things onto you to make it seem like you did it, even if it wasn't actually you and it was them. it will also shows that like they're projecting. It's them. They did it. But because I remember I was a reader, and even though like she was doing the videos for us and stuff like that for her viewers, it was like we was always doing something wrong, and it's just like, ma'am, what? And then like the person that's doing the wrong to us was the innocent party, and it's like, what are we talking about? And then she was like, oh, but take the like, it could be reversed if it's reversed, and it's just like, why would we be watching tarot videos if we're the one doing the wrong? Like, it just didn't make sense. It's like stuff like that. And then like if it keeps happening and stuff like that, just separate. But that's all I got. But it was like, if you know who you are, you know your character, you know when something's for you, when something's not for you, just trust it. Because what she was saying, I was like, ma'am, I don't even know how to do that or what that is. And it'd be like, I don't know, man. So it could be a lot of rumors and lies going on in the streets, because it could be a reader done said that you was out here sleeping with half of Miami. I don't know why Miami popped in mind, but you slept with half of Miami, but that's not the case. Or it could have been like, that's where it wasn't you that did that. It was them, and they are trying to paint it and make it seem like, well, they did it because you were doing it, when it's just like, you weren't even doing anything. You was in your house the whole time, or you was asleep. Like, you just you weren't doing anything. Yeah, so that's why it could be like, yeah. So with the secret crimes and stuff like that, this person did some things that they're trying to keep secret, don't want nobody to know, but it's coming out anyways. So where if we probably like, oh well, I did this, I did that, is nothing compared to what this person did. Is basically what is being said. But the high priestess reverse. Normally the high priestess, you don't see her hands and stuff like that. You see hands and you see foot and you see legs. They're not. They can't hide anything. They're the bad liar, pretty much. Just, yeah. So that's, you can figure out if a tarot reading is for you, or if a tarot reader is for you, or stuff like that. But also gotta realize the difference of being triggered. Triggered is they're saying a truth that you realize is the truth, but you didn't want to deal with it at that point in time. It's not. They're not purposely trying to trigger you. They're actually trying to help you. But the only way to help you might be to trigger you. I don't know. Where this person pretty much started your healing journey, or triggered you to go on this healing journey by breaking your heart and exiling you, walking away from you, separating from you. That triggered you to heal, become a different person. So tarot readers are trying to not even trigger you, but help you heal the parts of you that you might be a little bit confused on, that you it's like, you know that you need to heal, but you don't know what to heal, and they're trying to help you on what to heal. Well, some of them try and tell you what to heal, but then some people are just trying to do it for money. Each his own. But yeah, that's all I got for you. Oh, also, the way you can tell is, like, with the confusion, you, like, every video, or you watching the video and stuff like that, you just get, like, you was already confused and continue just get more and more confused. At some point in time, like, you can get stuck in, like, this psychic or spiritual paralysis where it's just nothing but confusion for you. So you gotta be careful on, like, who you're listening to, who you're taking advice from. And yeah, that's all I got for this reading. If you feel like this reading resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe. Other than that, I'll see you next time. Bye.